Hey, good to see you again. The factory sent over the parts that were looking good on the rig. They're being fitted as we speak. Have a look at the report.
What's going on, guys? My name is Jacob. I'm back to a brand new video. Today I'm here to bring you part 3 of my F1 2016 Career Mode series here at China, and you can see we've had the new barge boards fitted. They reduced drag by 2.440%, so that's good. And now as we are going to look at the laptop, so I believe next weekend we will have a little look at what happens with the cars not upgrading. And now let's go on to practice. You can see that they are coming at the end of my best lap in track acclimatization, my second lap, and we were able to get once again a perfect score. That seems like the normal for me, the normal in this game, that everyone can get a perfect score on the track acclimatization. And I have put the difficulty down to expert, so it should be a little bit easier. But there you can see we got a perfect score, and actually went up into third at the time. And I did actually, on my third lap, my final lap, miss a few gates. I just wasn't really with it for some reason on the third lap. Third lap I just couldn't hit many gates. I think it was 6 gates, but you can see I didn't hit a gate. And now we're coming to the end of my final lap of the tyre wear test. You see that we have had 5 laps purple and 1 green lap, so we've already got a perfect score, but I decided to obviously do all 7 laps, and we actually overtaken Perez there. But we did have purple on this lap until we came around near the few corners before the long back straight, and now we can see we get another green lap in the time management test. So that means we've got another perfect score, so that's 2 perfect scores. And now we're going to look at the qualifying pace. Come to the end of our first lap on the qualifying pace, you can see we are up on the delta time, and we are already up by 9/10, and it's actually creeping up and creeping down, but now we are over a second faster than the delta time. And now we come across the line and we get a perfect score for that. The other 2 laps we weren't able to actually finish, but now looking at the end, this is just a screenshot. You can see that we've got perfect on track acclimatization, time management, and qualifying pace. And if you look at the top right, you can see 175 out of 175 resource points earned, and 25 of those resource points are from team objectives, which you can see is right next to qualifying pace. So 25 of those 175 resource points are from team objectives, which you get for every single race weekend, and it can be things like a fast sector 2 in qualifying pace or something like that, but nevertheless we got all of them. So now as we are coming to look at the resource points at the end of practice 1, you can see that we are getting a lot here. We've got 10, 50, 50, 50, 10, and then 25, another 10, and 20 from the previous. So we earned 225 resource points in just one session. And now I looked at the obviously the R&D screen to see what we could upgrade, and we can only upgrade fuel efficiency, but I didn't really want to upgrade that because it wasn't really a problem. But now let's listen to the voicemail about qualifying.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So we have to qualify 10th or higher and beat Jenson Button, and that is all done of course by the results you got practice of where they think you can qualify. And now you can see the Q2 results. We were fastest, Jenson Button was 9th, and the people knocked out were Roman Grosjean, Carlos Sainz, Kimi Raikkonen, Sergio Perez, Nico Rosberg, and Esteban Gutierrez. Raikkonen unfortunately got knocked out, and you can see it was all intermediate tyres, so Raikkonen not having a very good day at office. And now looking at the Q3 results, you can see that I qualified in pole with Lewis Hamilton in 2nd and Daniel Ricciardo in 3rd. My teammate Jenson Button I think qualified in 10th. And now looking at resource points after qualifying, you can see that obviously we are gaining, and it is 112 resource points from that. And now looking at the rivalry, we should jump ahead of Jenson Button because we've already beaten him now, and now we are jumping ahead of Jenson Button. So we are leading Jenson Button in the rivalry by 2 points, and the driving position will improve to 2 because we achieved both the objectives for qualifying. But now let's listen to the voicemail about the race.
Hi, it's Emma here. Just wanted to let you know what the team are hoping for in the race.
So we need to finish 7th higher, beat Jenson Button, and place 10th higher in the Drivers' Championship. But that is what we need to do in the race. And then I just quickly go to the laptop, look at the standings, and go to the race. But now let's head on to the Chinese Grand Prix. So here we are looking at the race strategy. Obviously we qualified in pole position, and we are looking at the race strategy, and I decided to go for high time management because it looks like the best strategy, and let's just let the fuel saying we didn't actually have set up for this race. But now obviously skipping over formation lap as per normal, and now we're on the grid holding the clutch and revving up, and we dump the clutch and we actually get a very good start for once, the best start I've ever had in this game, and we were actually able to maintain the lead, which it can't be the same for Lewis Hamilton. He ended up dropping down to 4th and then moved back up into 3rd, but we were able to maintain the lead for at least the first 2 laps. But I was surprised, because I knew we weren't going to stay in the lead because the cars were very quick. Obviously, Ricciardo, Hamilton, then Red Bull and Mercedes. I knew they were going to get ahead of us at some stage, but I was just waiting for it to happen. It was literally just a pass waiting to happen. As now we are coming on to lap 3, we were able to hold the lead for the first 2 laps, and of course now DRS has been enabled on this lap, and we are coming down the back straight, and Lewis Hamilton obviously has DRS now, but he's obviously got the Mercedes power, and he just breezes past us, and that is the last we see of him. But well, it's not the last we see of him because we don't actually stick with him for a while through the corners, because for some reason down the straights we just couldn't get close to him. But through the corners we were actually holding our ground fairly well, and you can see we are getting close to him now, and we actually use a DRS, but that's not enough for us to catch him. But we do start catching him right near the end of the first corner. We had to brake, otherwise we would have had a collision and we couldn't really do anything there. But then we do actually get try and go up the inside of Lewis Hamilton and move it back up into the lead, but then we had to go on the outside, and we actually had to and coming around here we actually had to back off to avoid running for the track and avoid contact. So very good racing there by Hamilton. It was of course 100% new. We ran up to that, sort of we did to Rosberg in 2014 at Bahrain, sort of cutting him off, but that was but you know, that was all up to me whether to have a collision or not. And now we're moving on to lap 5, so a lap later, coming around the long right hander onto the back straight again. This was really where I was getting killed in this race, because of the long back straight, and the Honda engine in the car wasn't that good. But now it's Nico Rosberg in 3rd, and again he breezes past us, and that means that in 5 laps Rosberg's gone from 5th to 2nd already. Obviously he's in Mercedes, and now we have Vettel behind us, and I was thinking, right, I know Hamilton and Rosberg are just going to go, so now I just need to defend against Vettel. But we did actually keep up with Rosberg. He had the DRS, which I activated a bit later because I didn't think I would have the DRS, but I did, and that helped us stay ahead of Vettel a bit, and we weren't able to try and we weren't able to challenge Rosberg like we were able to challenge Hamilton that before, unfortunately. But now coming down onto the right, sweeping right hander onto the back straight, Rosberg, we got so close there, and then there I decided not to lift, which was a bad idea because we got onto the because we did run wide and get onto the curb, and then onto the back straight. Vettel was very close, and we were lucky to get DRS to defend. But even with the DRS, Vettel and with DRS in the Ferrari engine still just breezes past us. But we just but we tried to maybe mount a challenge, but we couldn't, unfortunately. So that means that we have dropped from 1st to 4th in the space of 7 laps. 7 laps, I wouldn't say it's too bad. Face to us at DRS, we were able to stay ahead. But yeah, dropped from first to fourth in 5 laps. Really not too bad. I was thinking that I would be happy with 7th because that means we would achieve the objective set by our team for this race, which I haven't actually been able to do yet. And on to lap 8, Vettel actually passed Rosberg, and then near the end of the lap, then peeled into the pits, and we actually end up following Vettel into the pits. And I never know when to brake to be able to make the pit entry. To be able to make the pit entry safe, but I do. So I think I'd leave it a bit. So I think I'll make it a bit too safe. But what's actually new after the patch is you stay in the camera use set during the pit lane, and I set TV pod, so that's why I am still in TV pod. And it's a 1.9 pit stop as we go into another set of softs. It is medium soft and super soft for this race weekend. And I didn't actually pause it there. I paused all by itself for some reason. But nevertheless, it looks like we are going to rejoin in 11th place behind Carlos Sainz and Felipe Massa. So we are literally right now we're in no man's land. But we are the 5th fastest team at the moment, I believe, which means we only have Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Williams ahead of us. So we should be able to catch Carlos Sainz fairly well. And now on lap 12, everything has shuffled out, and Grosjean has dropped from the lead to 4th place. And we are just trying to find a way past. He was starting mediums, so he's on very warm mediums now, and we are obviously on fresh softs, as a lot of the other drivers ahead I think were as well. But we were just trying to find a way past Grosjean and we just couldn't. But then we decided to go up the inside here of the Haas driver, and he actually pulls away from us with the Ferrari engine in that Haas. But then we get DRS and pull out, and we are actually able to. Well, we can't. This is how hard it is to pass in a McLaren Honda on the straight. What we had to do is we have to actually get the pass done in the corner. So we broke and managed to get the pass done into the corner. As now we are coming onto lap 15, and we are coming around the left-hander. And now this is where it's interesting. We just pulled out 3 seconds on Verstappen, but then we run wide and lose in half spin. And we get going again, but unfortunately that lets Verstappen and Raikkonen really close up on us, which wasn't really what I wanted, as we are coming near our pit stop on lap 16 and 18, and you see Raikkonen just flies past us down the straight, and we are just going to try and overtake him really, which is all we can do. We actually make contact with Raikkonen, and after that I was worried that I had damage, so I actually did check. But and luckily we didn't have damage, but it does look like we're going to get the pass done to Raikkonen. But here I wasn't really sure. We went around the outside, got the pass done to Raikkonen, and activated the DRS as we came across the line. So we maintain P4 for now. Obviously, as we're in the McLaren, we probably won't maintain P4 for much longer against the Ferraris and Red Bulls. But yeah, if we finish in 7th place, like I said, I'll be happy. That means that the 2 Mercedes, 2 Ferraris and 2 Red Bulls could finish ahead of us, which would be what you would expect. But now as we're on lap 16, we are coming down the back straight once again, pitting this lap of course, and Raikkonen now just breezes past us, just walks past us basically. There was nothing we could do to defend. We're in a McLaren Honda, down the pit straight. The Honda PU, obviously, even though it has had an upgrade, it's still not enough. It's still obviously very far behind the Ferrari and Mercedes, and probably even the Renault engine. But Raikkonen continues on as we come into the pit lane. Not as tentative, not as worrying. I broke a bit later than last time because obviously I've been on the pit lane once. But we did. But we are now coming into the pit, and we had to wait so long to get down the pit lane to pull into our pit box, because obviously McLaren didn't have a very good year last year. But now ongoing the medium tyres, and we're actually being held. And I didn't understand why, but then I saw Williams and Toro go past, and that meant our pit stop was a 5.7 second pit stop, and we're in the pit lane for 24.2 seconds. And Grosjean gets past us and gets ahead of Kvyat as well. We're coming through the first corner, you see I'm catching up to Kvyat, and he was actually going really slow, basically parking on the apex, and we hit him twice. And then I was checking again to see if we had damage, because that is the main thing that I didn't really want and was worried about, because it is so easy to get damage on this game and so hard to get damage as well. So you never know if you're going to get damage or not, but even though it looks like you're not, it's always best to check. I checked because I never knew, and coming around this corner, very high speeds are you on. As we come around the right hander, I went to 4th gear and Kvyat actually spun. But we were ahead. We should have actually yielded, but he didn't, and we didn't get a warning. He didn't get a penalty or warning for that, I didn't think. But it's green flag, and then the safety car is deployed. And I was thinking, great, all the people now ahead of us get a free pit stop. But I'm going to show you two things that happened in the safety car period. As you can see, we were behind Grosjean, and it's basically like your brake check does, and we actually lost part of our rear wing on the front wing on the left. And then a lap later, I believe this is, the same place, Grosjean, again it's like a brake check. So we slam on the brakes both times, but lose more of our front wing. And we were actually asked there, do you want to change strategy after this? And I said yes, but so I yawn again, excuse me, but we were asked to change strategy, and I said yes, but then in the end I decided, you know what, let's not actually pit, because I think we can do this fine. But now on 20, you can see guys actually coming in, and this was one reason it's made me decide not to take pit stop. But here, I was trying to do something sneaky, which is stay alongside Grosjean, and then as soon as it goes to green flags, just get past him. As you'll see, it didn't really work, as now it's just yellow flag, and we are at the inside. We are about halfway up the inside of Grosjean. As it comes there, and then he turns in on us, and basically we goes get a warning for that, but nevertheless we are now in 8th place, and then we see Sergio Perez out of the race, and we of course decided to carry on. We decided to not actually pit because we would have lost time and track position, and I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose really. But I did still feel that I could push the car to its limits and do well in this race. But obviously, I did have to change my driver's side a bit because it was just the Carlos Sainz out of the race. But I did have to change my driver's side a bit because it was a bit understeering through some corners, a bit unstable. But I was able to do it. And then at 22, you can see that we were caught at Felipe Massa, and we need to finish 7th to achieve our first team objective of this Grand Prix. And we dive up the inside Massa and get the party done. Get to Apex first, and little tanks up on the exit, but able to hold it. And we are now up into P7, which means we should achieve the team objective. And we did finish in 7th place, I can tell you now. We were catching Bottas, but then near the end of the race we started, our tyres started to wear, and we weren't able to get past him. But now we're coming across the line in 7th place. I was very happy with that, obviously. From pole to 7th, with the safety car not really helping us. The safety car did really hurt our race. And there you see Toto Wolff celebrating as his driver Nico Rosberg won the Grand Prix, and the safety car helped Rosberg a bit, as you can see there. Racing with Nico Rosberg, Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula 1 team. But skip through the podium now, you can see the race results. Nico Rosberg won the race from Lewis Hamilton, making it Mercedes 1-2, with Kimi Räikkönen finishing in 3rd, and Sebastian Vettel making it a Ferrari 3-4. So Mercedes 1-2, Ferrari 3-4. Max Verstappen finished in 5th, Valtteri Bottas 7th, I finished in 7th, and Danny Kvyat finished 8th. Jenson Button finishes in 9th to make it a double McLaren points scoring race weekend. Felipe Massa rounds out the points. Felipe Nasr, you can see, finishes in 11th with Kevin Magnussen interrupt for Renault. Obviously, Nasr did very good start, qualifying in 22nd and then finishing there. Romain Grosjean finished 13th, Pascal Wehrlein doing a fantastic finish in 14th, with Nico Rosberg in 15th. Rio Harrington 16th, but now as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo didn't have this Grand Prix. And now looking at the drivers' standings, Nico Rosberg now leads the way ahead of 8 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, with Daniel Ricciardo in 3rd. Sebastian Vettel in 4th, and with his teammate Kimi Räikkönen in 5th. Max Verstappen in 6th, Valtteri Bottas in 7th. 8th is Carlos Sainz. Jenson Button is in 9th, tying with Carlos Sainz. And we are in 12th. Now look at the constructor standings. Mercedes lead the way, extending the lead ahead of Red Bull, with Ferrari in 3rd and Mr. Williams in 4th. McLaren, we have moved up to 5th, tying on points with Toro Rosso in 6th, and then Force India in 7th with Sauber in 8th. And the teams yet to score are still Sauber, Manor and Renault. But now look at the resource points at the end of this Grand Prix. Also, we incurred 2 penalties apparently. We earned 80 resource points, which took us up to 615. But how it really works is if you get warnings, that also counts penalties. And for this race, we actually, you see, we now win the rivalry against Jenson Button. So we've beaten Jenson Button as our rival, and now we are going to move up to number 4 in the driver position. So the team will be fairly happy with us. We don't actually move up to 5, but because we're not 10th higher in the championship, we move down 1. So the team are fairly happy with us. They are much more happy with us than they were at the beginning of this Grand Prix weekend. And obviously I did this race on Expert, so I am going to leave the difficulty on Expert for now. I think I'll leave it for Expert on Season 1 then, but I might change it for Season 2. I'm not entirely sure, we just have to wait and see. But now we go to the research and development. As you can see, the team are happy with your points. Now we go to research and development, and we decide to I couldn't actually remember what the next race weekend was, so I decided to go over to the trophy room, because that tells you the calendar, and it is Russia, and I just had to wait for it to load up, and so I decided to go with chassis weight. Obviously Russia has quite a long back straight, but yeah, we should have improved chassis weight for the next Grand Prix. But that is it for this video, guys. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big like, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you're new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter at @Patreon_. As always, there is a link to that down in the description. All the music used in this video is down in the description, and if you want to become part of the Freedom, I highly recommend it. There is also a link to that down in the description. And that is it from me for this Grand Prix, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.